Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Exos Heroes video. Today is part 2 of the Beginner's Guide series that I'm doing. Part 1, if you haven't seen it, was pretty much over basic battle mechanics and how your characters can be stronger in battle. Pretty much their basic mechanics as well. So today we're going to be going over how to actually make your heroes stronger, because you're going to come to a point where you can't just get by with battle mechanics in the story mode. You're going to have to make your guys stronger to actually progress. So we do this by going to the Manage Heroes tab here, where you can see the collection of your heroes. Now, I obviously have a very big collection because I've been playing for a while, and some of my characters are pretty good. But if you just play the game every day, do daily missions, complete your weeklies, and participate in dungeons and challenges, you're eventually going to get characters like this. It's not that hard. So as you can see, my characters have a bunch of different levels. They have a bunch of different numbers next to their name and all that jazz. So I know it can look overwhelming, but we're going to go from the basics here. First thing I want to mention is the ways to actually make your heroes stronger. So obviously, the first way is to increase their levels. So Tantalo here is level 81. When you first get a hero, it starts at level 1. So you can level them up by giving them experience scrolls, and we'll show that in a second. You can also give them gear, which can be acquired many ways in the game, and I'll go through that here in a second. So gear and leveling up, and then other ways called Transcend and Bless, which you can see down here, but that's going to be towards the end of the video. So starting off, I've identified a character that I want to pretty much be our guinea pig. We're going to start with Dagus here. So Dagus, as you can see, is a 1-star, level 1 hero with 4 stars. Now, we're going to be able to take him up to 5 stars by walking through this entire process. Now, if you also see in the bottom of Dagus, he has all of these gear pieces locked. So you can't equip any gear to him until he gets up to a certain level. So if we go to the little level up button under Dagus, it takes you to this screen. Now, I have built up an inventory of these books and scrolls and pieces of paper and all of that jazz. Now, this is how you actually level up your character. If you see here, this basic scroll, this is the easiest one to get, gives my guy 800 experience points. And then the paper gives him 100. So the paper, I guess, is actually easier to get. Now, this might seem like a lot at the beginning, but if you look up here at the top, these kind of books, the 6-star books actually give him 80,000 experience through one book. So it does scale pretty quickly, and that is one thing that you'll realize the more you play this game is once you get up into the higher levels of everything, leveling things up, it scales pretty quickly. So you're going to run out of resources quickly. But this is how you do this. So basically, when you play through the game, you're going to have ways to acquire these scrolls, and that's how you'll level up your character. So let me show you where you can get these first, and then we'll come back and we'll level up Dagus, and I'll show you the things that it does, okay? So if you go into the world map here, and you go to your challenges, the very first challenge bar that opens up once you've completed, a very early stage of the story mode is the Experience Sanctum. So in the Experience Sanctum, they have a bunch of different element days. Basically, one day it'll be a fire element, the other day it'll be, a nature element or a machine element. And this is going to matter the further you get into the game, but at the very beginning stages, like for the easy mode, you don't have any kind of condition to enter this. You can enter with anyone, so you can choose your strongest heroes. And when you beat it, you'll get, right here, the inferior experience scroll. Now, as you go up in difficulty, and you do this by beating these stages. If you beat easy, normal will unlock, and then hard, and so on and so forth. But as you can see, the rewards get better as well. So this is how you're going to acquire those scrolls. You only get 3 of these tickets a day, unless you have some other event going on where you can get additional tickets, or you can buy them. But this is how you get the experience scrolls, and depending on the day, that's where the element of scroll is going to drop. So since it's fire day, we're seeing fire scrolls drop. All this does is it gives your fire characters an additional boost. It's a small amount in regards to the experience. So that's the significance there. So that's one way of getting those experience scrolls. The other way is doing these daily quests that you can see on the screen here. So I have 8 available to me. Whenever you start out the game, you might have 1 or 2, but the more you progress in the story mode, the more of these are going to become available. And as you can see here, from my first quest, my rewards are like really good. You won't see these because you're just starting, but once you get to this end stage, the rewards for this are going to be really good. And all you have to do is click accept and click on that button at the top, and it automatically does it for you. So there's nothing to it. There's no difficulty or any kind of like level that you need to worry about. Once you're doing these quests, once they give you a certain amount, like the max of 8, you can do all of them. So don't be afraid to do those. But I just want to showcase here. So that was the first quest. I literally ran over that person and I talked to them. So then when I'm done, I click that up there and hit complete. So I'll show you what kind of rewards I got just for doing that one thing here. So in my mailbox, I got 5 of these Book of Experiences, which give a lot of experience. And then also 7 Zs and things to upgrade armor, which we'll get into in a later video. So that's another way of acquiring those scrolls or books to level up your character. And then the last way that I know of, at least off the top of my head right now, is in this dispatch button. You can go to dispatch and you can send out these characters like every 5 hours, and they come back and they bring you like these superior scrolls or those little pages that you saw I had built up. So it's not a whole lot, but it's free and they can build up over time. And as you saw when we were going over Dagus, some of those scrolls on a level 1 character can actually beef them up, to a reasonable level, especially if you have a decent amount of them. So if I go here, see, I've saved up 90 of these. If I click all 90, he already goes up to level 28. Now this is important, as you can see, because his stats definitely get buffed by this. So 28 levels gets him 97 more attack, which is not what he's known for. That's why it's a small amount. But his defense doubles, which is what he's known for. So his defense goes up to 796. And then his HP goes up. And then his combat power goes up. Now the combat power is something that you don't need to worry about until later in the game. There's certain thresholds that revolve around combat power. It's more so to auto things instead of having to run through the trial and manual it yourself. But don't worry about that right now. So, getting back to Dagus here, right? The whole point of this was to show you what happens whenever we actually level him up to these points. So, because we want to get him up to that level 75 to unlock that last gear spot, we're going to try and do that right now. So we're going to go in, and since he's a frost character, we might as well just use all of these freebie stuff that we have. And then we'll start using these frost scrolls. So as you can see, I'm at the max that I can use. It's not going to let me use any more scrolls because I'm at my maximum level. So if he's at level 60, you're probably saying, okay, well, you need to get to level 75 to actually, put that last piece of gear on him. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to use up all of the experience that we can at this point to get into level 60. And as you can see, we have some slots open up where we can equip this gear. And the gear guide is going to come in the next video, so pay attention to that. But right now, wherever you are in the game, probably like chapter 4 or 5, you really probably don't even need gear yet. Okay, so Dagus is now at level 60, and I can't level him up anymore. So the next part here is to enhance him. You need to enhance Dagus 5 times. And the way you do this is two ways. You have these little creatures here, which I don't even know what their name is, but we'll call them enhancement heroes, okay? Little enhancement dragons. You can use these enhancement dragons, or you can use other heroes that are level 4. So other legendary heroes or rare heroes that are level 4. But since you don't know how to do that yet, we'll just say legendary heroes. But you never want to use a legendary hero to do the enhancement on these characters. As you can see, I have a lot of these little enhancement dragons. It's because you can actually get a lot of them, especially towards the end game as well. And in the early game, you get enough that you're going to be able to level up your characters that you need to. So you need 5 of these. And see how the enhancement dragons also have a star under them? I can also use other things down here, like these enhancement eggs. You see how they only have a 10% chance here? That's because it's level 1. When you click on the level 4, it's a 100% chance it won't fail. So you can use a bunch of things to try and enhance him based on what you have. Like I can use these 2-star guys and keep trying and trying, but it's only a 27.5% chance to work. That's why you want to use these enhancement dragons with the correct level, so you don't waste any money, because it can get expensive and your gold can drain. So I have these 5 enhancement dragons, and I'm going to enhance, okay? So once we do this, you'll see Dagus got that little +5 there. That means he has the 5 enhancement, and he does also get a nice little stat boost here. And now something happened under Dagus. He has this little bless thing down here that got the exclamation mark. What blessing does is actually bumps him up to that 5th star, as you can see here, and magically his level max goes up to 75. So that's pretty much how you get him to other levels, and then also enough stars to generate mana in other ways, which we went over in the first part. So I have all of these materials, and I'll go over where you get these materials as well. But while you're going over this, if you notice that you are short on some of these materials, but you have an abundance of others, like I have 1,924 of these here, if you hit on that craft button, you can actually make these, right? You can assemble, disassemble. So it's kind of nice. I actually didn't know that. It took me a while to get to that, but you can even assemble like these really high-end blessing items. This is what this is called, the blessing of your hero. But yeah, so if you're short on stuff and you don't want to go get it, you can just do that. So if we do this and we bless him, he then goes up to level to 5 stars, and his maximum level increases by 15. So now we can go back to the level up, give him some more books. Let's see if we can get enough on him here. Use all of this. Okay, so now we've reached max level of 75. Now if we wanted to get him up to 6 star, we would have to go through this whole process again. We'd have to enhance, but we'd use our 5-star dragons instead of our 4-star, because if we use our 4-star now on a 5-star hero, your percentages go down for your success rate. So it's kind of a rinse and repeat thing. You would then be able to bless, but you would need new items, some hard to drop items, but that's pretty much how you increase the stars on your character to eventually get them to a higher level. So now we can equip all different kinds of things on here, which give your character, attack boosts, critical hit damage boosts, attack speed, all of these things, which you don't need to worry about right now. But that's pretty much how you level up your characters, guys. Last thing I wanted to show you before I go is just where to get those blessing items and the little enhancement dragons. So the enhancement dragons are in the Spirit Sanctum. Again, it's one of those earlier sanctums that get unlocked by completing the story mode or certain chapters in the story mode. And as you go up in difficulty, you're going to be able to have a higher chance of getting those 4-star Supreme Fire Spirit. Okay, that's what they're called, Fire Spirits or Spirits. So that's where you get your enhancement characters, and then the Blessing Sanctum is where you're going to acquire all of those materials to basically bump your characters up from lower stars up to more stars. So 3-star to 4-star, 4-star to 5-star, 5-star to 6-star, so on and so forth. So I hope this video was not confusing. It was informative, and it gives you a little guidance on how to make your hero stronger. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for part 3.